My name is Jordan Malone and we are introducing a new concept of barbering where I chat to influential people through the power of a haircut. This series is going to be called Behind the Gown. I believe that the barbershop isn't just a space for haircuts, it's a space for stories, connections and influence. Whether it's life lessons, mental health or just how to make an impact beyond the chair. Gaz, what's happening, bro? Thank you very much for coming on to our first episode. How are we?
All good, mate. I obviously missed my last haircut, so the sooner we got
I got no show, yeah.
we got this done, the
nice
better.
Gowned up here and stuff, man. Do you want to tell the people who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Yes, obviously. Obviously my name's Ryan. Met Jordy about, I don't know how long, over 10 years ago now, through football, and he's been cutting my hair basically most of the time. I dissed him for a wee year or two because I couldn't be annoyed driving up here, but ever since then he's been cutting my hair, even through lockdown and stuff when he maybe wasn't supposed to be, so.
We even play football together as well.
Oh yes, well, Milk Cup, all that. We'll get on to Milk Cup and your performances then, but.
Right. So, first of all, mate, you started off. How did your sort of footballing career start? Like, let's go right back to the very start.
It was just basically through my dad, mate. He played football. He was really sporty when he was younger. Obviously played football and then played Gaelic and hurling and stuff. But football was the main one for me. Like, he obviously tried to get me into all of them, but I don't know why. Just from the second I could walk, basically, I was playing football and even on like the PlayStation. As soon as I was able to know how it worked, I was playing FIFA constantly. So
And who sort of got you into football, or how did that come about?
My dad just bringing me to. He played amateur league basically all his life. So from as soon as I could walk, I was at the door with him on every Saturday and Sunday. All the nights he was at training and stuff. I was there. I just loved it. And then my earliest memories of it is being in like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, and just being in the change rooms and like.
Seeing some sights.
Some scarred for life. But obviously being so young, like they're like your core memories and always stick. Even like you can't understand it, but you could tell they were having good crack. And then obviously now you're growing up, it's basically the exact same. It's like everybody must just get on. Like through the whole life of my time involved in football, everybody's just the same. Everybody's just in football because they love it. So.
100%.
So that was basically it. My dad just bringing me every single chance he had. So
would you say like kind of your dad would have been a bit of an inspiration then for you starting football?
Oh, definitely. He was the real only one. Well, because I'm the oldest boy. My younger brother Darren, he plays. So obviously I was playing before him. So just my dad just taking me to football every chance he got, and then it just went from there basically.
And growing up as well, like I'm sure you obviously supported a team and probably had a favourite player as well.
Oh yes, obviously Liverpool. You support Liverpool too.
Yeah.
Liverpool obviously my whole life. Steven Gerrard, absolute hero, and then don't know much. But I actually I've lost interest in him in the last couple of years. But see, at Liverpool, he was my absolute hero. All Liverpool taps, Gerrard on the back of him.
Yeah.
See him playing the PlayStation and all. I would have tried to get Steven Gerrard or number 8 and then like my username or something. So Gerrard, Liverpool. My mom even, I'll put this as an absolute exclusive here. So my middle name is Michael Owen, unfortunately.
Yours is?
Swear to God.
No way.
It's Gary Michael Owen.
Serious? I never ever knew it.
I know because
that's
it's embarrassing, but I'll say it now.
That's not embarrassing. You don't score as much goals as Michael Owen. Like.
I know, but he left and then ended up signing for Man United. So absolutely
asking for a name change.
Absolutely heartbroken now. Asked my mum, was that possible? But she said no, you're keeping it. So
that's a belter. Actually, I didn't know that. But yeah, obviously, like Gerrard was one of mine as well. And I suppose like your position on the football pitch as well. Like, did that kind of enter your head of where you wanted to play as a football player?
I've always. From I started playing competitive football, I've been a midfielder, and that was probably why I probably just wanted to be like him.
Yeah.
Even like you're over in the Irish or over in the park kicking the ball about with your mates, and every time you're hitting the ball, you're shouting Gerrard or doing a knee slide on what used to be probably gravel.
Did you wear
Predators?
Yeah, the
Of
Predators,
course.
yeah.
Every single boot I had when I was, remember, I think they were Predator power swerves that had the metal blades.
Yeah.
And Gerard wore them, and I always wanted them. So he was my football. He was who I wanted to be like in football.
So, obviously, then growing up, so what was like your first team that you started at, or
First team was New Hill.
and is that your local team?
That's
or-
my local team. I've helped out coaching and stuff with them the last couple of years, but I think I started playing. They do like a wee tot scheme for like 4 or 5 year olds, so we would have went to that, and then
Fantastic.
once you were able to go to under 11, I think under 11 started a lot earlier than what it does now. But I started playing under 11 when after I just turned 8, so I was in the round lads who were older than me. I barely ever played because it was like a wee midget compared to everybody. But then
So was you were playing a couple of years up then, were you?
and then once my first season there finished, then the next age group, so I was still playing a year up. I played there basically until from I was 9 or 10 through till I was 15. Just my uncle Jared was that age group manager, and then my dad actually took the year below, but which was my own age group, but I never ever played for him. Like,
Yeah. And then, so obviously, you know, you're playing for New Hill, and obviously your family's involved and stuff. And how did you kind of get on with New Hill? Like, did you do well? You know, did you just go on trips? Did you just win any trophies when you were younger?
mate, honestly, it was the
Or were you
best.
just getting battered every
It was
week?
the best time ever. Now, I remember every Friday night. Obviously, you know Levi, don't you? Obviously.
Yeah.
Levi played my team, and every Friday night we went round to my Uncle Jared's house and stayed there. And then up at 8:30 in the morning to go to wherever you were going on a Saturday morning. And then we just loved it. Like,
You must have had some team, like if Levi and stuff was there as well.
I'm trying to think of boys who you would know. Definitely, there was Levi and Marty Bradley.
Class,
So
yeah.
Levi obviously played the year up as well.
Yep.
Marty was amazing when he was younger. Played in
Yeah.
all the.
He's still good now. He's doing well now, isn't
He's a banger.
he? Shout out Marty Bradley.
Shout out to Marty. But he was amazing when he was younger. And mate, we just loved it. We see the trips to the Foyle Cup and stuff as well. I think we went the first one when I was about 12, and we stayed in this wee place called. It was like Raspberry Hill or something it was called. It was like out in the mountains somewhere, but it was a farm and had this big barn with snooker tables and like bowling and stuff in it, and then all tennis courts. But there was 16 of us, all like 12-year-olds, and we all stayed in this one giant room together.
Oh, that's
all
chaos,
bunk beds,
isn't it?
mate, so,
They were the best trips when you were younger, weren't
best
they?
ever, aye. It was just chaotic. Like, you think you're there for the football, but you're not. I don't even think anybody in it. When you're that age, like, nobody really cares. You're just there having a crack. And then
100%.
got my first like real experience into what like football can be like, because we got Celtic in our group.
Oh, class.
And, oh my god, mate, they were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
They batter you.
they beat us 4-0, aye, but we didn't get a kick of the ball the whole time. I was like, oh jeepers, is this what it's going to be like?
Yeah.
Because playing at New Hill, playing locally, you're like, I'm a player here.
Yeah.
Even though you're a kid, you're like running about thinking you're class, and then you come up
100%.
against these boys who are training every day and living like professional footballers, even though they're only 12, 13, and they absolutely batter you. So
That was probably like
that was a rude awakening. In
when
there.
you were like playing against me, you never got a kick.
That was probably the other way about, but I'll not speak too much about that.
So obviously then, you know, you played for New Hill and you went on all the trips and stuff, and then, you know, what sort of age were you then when you moved on from New Hill, and where did you go?
So I played obviously for New Hill until I think I was 15, and then you'll know a load of the boys like Levi, Ben Canny, Shane, Stevie Fallon all played for St Albert Plunkett at that age group.
Yeah.
And,
And were you friendly with them boys beforehand?
I didn't know it. Just Levi was like my best mate growing up.
Yeah.
So just him, and he was like, come and join. Like they were going to win everything at the age group and all. And then I was like, I don't know. And then I seen some of them boys were going on trials and all this. So, and then a couple of them ended up moving away. So I was like, right, sweet.
Go and try
I'll
that.
come. I only was there for, I think I joined in January and then was there for 18 months or something, and obviously won loads of the big honours for youth football, won the Northern Ireland Cup twice, won an All Ireland, won the National League twice, so
You actually beat us in penalties one day, I remember.
I don't even know if you were playing.
I probably
you were playing
was.
with no boots. But so went there for whatever amount of time that was, and really enjoyed it. To be fair, see, once you go from, it was like going from playing with your mates all the time and having crack, and then it was like these boys just really wanted to win.
Yeah, we had some great battles actually. You know, when you were at Plunkett and I was at Linfield and stuff, we had some great battles.
Yeah, both playing midfield against each other.
Yeah.
And then don't know how we ended up once at the Milk Cup completely out of position, but we'll talk about that shortly. But I just went to Plunkett so I could be seen, I felt like.
Yeah, no, 100%. So how old were you actually then?
I think I was 15.
And
so obviously it's sort of the age whenever boys start going on trial and stuff. So I went there basically hoping that I would get a chance to go on trial somewhere.
So at 15 you really had sort of aspirations to kind of get across the water?
Definitely. I probably had aspirations even before that, but I never really understood like what was involved in being a footballer. I was just like, one day I'm just going to sign for a team in England here and then that's it.
Yeah.
But obviously that wasn't the case, so I went to Plunkett to get seen, and obviously I did because a couple of boys moved away, and then the year after, whatever way it worked out, they were like a year above me over there, and they played the year up. So the year after everybody had left Plunkett, I was at Glenavon and then ended up Torquay, who a couple of boys were at already.
So at Plunkett then, you didn't actually get noticed at Plunkett?
No, that's where I was, but because of whatever way it worked out, I didn't go on trial until the summer after the boys, so they'd all signed, and then...
Okay, and where did they sign? Torquay?
Torquay, three of them signed, and then they'd signed in the summer, and then maybe that September or October time I went on trial with Torquay.
Class. And how was that?
It was class, mate.
Were you nervous?
Not overly. I was, like, as I've said to you before, whenever we've been just talking about football, I always thought that I was just as good as anybody who I was going to play against, so...
That's the sort of attitude to have if you want to become kind of.
Yeah, I feel like you have to have some sort of like ego or personality, but not in a bad way, obviously. But
yeah,
you have to have some sort of thought in your head that I'm good enough to do it. So went to Torquay, and it was a bit like a foil cup, mate. Everybody just stayed in the one big house.
And when you travelled over there, were you travelling by yourself?
Travelling by myself.
And how old?
15.
15. I'm sure that was scary, like.
Yeah, it was terrifying, and also see
the way you are as well. Like, I'm surprised you actually made the plane.
Alright, I've missed one haircut since you've known me. But getting dropped at the airport, and then I remember the first time I went up with like, I was going for a full week, so it might have been like over the Halloween break or something, because I was obviously still in school.
Okay.
And went up with like a full, big, massive grip bag, and they had the plane wouldn't let me carry it on. So I remember my mummy being with me, and obviously I'm 15, I had no money. So my mummy had to pay to check the bag on the flight. So that was the start of it, and then...
How was your mum and stuff, and your dad, like, you know, kind of with you? Like,
they just sort of went along with whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
They've always kind of been like that, even with like school and
supported you,
just
really?
everything. That's whatever you want to do is obviously best for you, because it's not like they knew what it would involve or what it would entail, obviously, because they'd never been through it. So
I suppose it's kind of nice as well that you knew boys who were already there.
Yeah, that made it so much easier to get over, to be fair. But see, getting on those, obviously you were getting the cheapest flights over, so it was Flybe planes that had the propellers.
Yeah.
And mate, they terrified me. I feel like someone just built that morning.
Yeah, 100%.
And you've just got on it, but going by yourself and then getting picked up at the airport by some complete stranger who you don't even know. But once you get there, it's completely fine. Like, obviously I knew the boys, so I knew a couple of boys there, which made it easier. But
so how did the trial actually go? Did you just play a game, or?
No, I basically lived the way all the scholars were living for the week. So
okay.
Like, I got there on a Sunday night, and then Monday morning I was up. They used to get up at like 6:30 to leave for training at 7:15 or something. So 6:30, have your breakfast.
6:30 in the morning?
It was something stupid, mate.
Yeah.
Have your breakfast in the digs. Everybody was there, so you were just having a bowl of cereal, and then you were off to a training ground. And they trained out in the middle of nowhere basically, but they trained with the first team.
Yeah.
And I remember getting there and after the first training session that day, the boys were cleaning the first team players' boots.
Oh, serious? You were probably going, that's
I
bad
was
for
like,
me.
I'm not doing that. I'll go into the shower here, lads, and head away. So
Torquay had like all the scholars cleaning the first team
the
players'
scholars.
boots.
So once you got to the training ground, there was the change rooms, and then there was a big main pitch that the first team trained on. Then the scholars trained like out the back on this field. The pitch was horrific.
That's just to test their touch.
Didn't need to test mine. Anyway. and then after training, they were cleaning the first team players' boots, and I was like, "There's no way am I doing that." Not that out of like. I'm not doing it, but I was there one day. I was like, I'm not taking some stranger's boots.
Yeah, no, I'm over here in trial to play football. Do you know, I'm not over here cleaning people's boots.
So it was basically just that routine for that week. Just up, home day digs. You didn't really do Torquay. There's really nothing to do, mate. So you just sat in digs all day until dinner time, and then you went out for dinner, and then come home, and then that was it.
And then how did you?
Go ahead.
Did you sort of think about like? I know a lot of like there's obviously a lot of players over here who do go away and they can't really kind of cope with being away. Like obviously you're only there for a week, but did you think that you know that it was something that you could do long term, like move away from here and you know be in England? And
I felt like my personality is quite easy going, so I don't feel like being away or moving away would have fazed me that much.
Yeah.
And obviously,
it's nice as well. You probably no responsibilities as well at that stage too.
I had no responsibilities back home, but you would have had responsibilities if you moved there. Aye, but Mum and Daddy, as I said earlier, Mum and Daddy would have just went along with whatever I wanted to do and supported it. So I get home, and by this time I'd signed for Glenavon. I think I'd signed for. I did.
So you come back from the trial after the week.
So that summer I'd signed for. That summer, once the boys that I knew already moved away, I'd signed for Glenavon because that Plunket team had folded. So I signed for Glenavon because it seemed like they were just giving everyone a go in the first team.
Yeah, 100%. I remember, like, you know, it was like Mark Sykes.
And like Johnny Dallas. There was Andy Hoy was playing in the first team when he was 15.
That's right, yeah.
So there was loads of boys.
He's had a really great career, hasn't he, in the Irish League?
Andy was class when we were younger too.
Yeah, he was
so good.
He was another one, never got a kick against me as well. Shout out Andy Hoy.
I'm sure he'll have something to say about that, but where was it? Oh, signed for Glenavon and then fired first year. Played the first reserve game when I was 15, but it was crazy, mate, because I remember playing it. It was a solitude against Clintonville, and also I'd follow, like, Clintonville would be my team in the Irish League to follow. And I got there and there was like 3 or 4 of the boys who you'd been watching the week before playing, and I was like, what is this? Like,
so this was a Glenavon first team?
No, the reserves.
Oh, the reserve team?
But it was a reserve game midweek, and obviously them boys were getting back, come back to fitness or something.
Yep.
Like,
dropping down to play.
They beat us 4-0 and I was like, oh my god, I felt so far off it. But also I was still only 15.
Yeah, you're still young, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is brutal.
But isn't it mad, you think, like, when we were playing back then, and you know you were playing for like an Irish League club and stuff, and you were thinking, right, I'm going to play for this first team. But when you're like 15, 16, you don't actually realise how far away you actually are from the first team.
That's loads of people give it. Well, not so much now because it's getting better with teams going full time. But would they give the Irish League stick? But see
how good you actually have to be.
You have to be to play in it. That's crazy. Mate. Like some of the boys are unbelievable.
So you're playing for Glenavon at this stage, and you know you're playing reserve midweek, and obviously the first team players are dropping down. Someone coming back from injury and stuff.
Yeah.
So how was that with the first team lads coming down?
Yeah, that's what I was saying about. You don't realise how good, because you feel like you're like really, really good at your own age group. You'll be like, oh, this is going to be fine.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh my god, these are like a lot better than what I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
But see, just as we're talking about, as I mentioned earlier, playing Celtic at a young age and getting absolutely battered.
Yeah.
We my first Milk Cup I went to a year young, so I didn't get in the first year in my own age group, and then
that just reminds me, that first year we were both on trial.
Remember playing up front the trial?
Here we scored.
Mate, I know.
How we didn't get in with the goals? We scored crazy.
I remember our first trial we won about, we just got split up in the game, we won about 8-0 or something, remember?
Yeah.
I think we scored 2 each or something, playing up front too.
Unbelievable.
So obviously I didn't get in that first year, and then the next year I went to the trials for the team the year up.
Yep.
And somehow I got in that year, and that was a class experience. We trained at, obviously, we trained at Greenmount and stuff, and the facilities were amazing, pitches were class.
Yeah, they were very good facilities.
See, the first day of it, very first day in Milk Cup, we were playing Man United at Ballymena.
Yeah.
And oh my god, mate, just as I was talking about Celtic, like, that was like a rude awakening. This was too. We did not get a kick.
Any players to note who were playing for United? Or?
Andres Pereira was the main one. We got players for Fulham.
Yeah, geez, I actually remember watching that match. He was incredible.
He could have played with no feet.
Yeah, literally. Pair of flip flops.
Oh, mate, he was so good. We didn't get a kick of the ball. I was playing right back. I ended up in right back.
Do you know there was another one playing that day as well? I think you call him Mitchell.
There was a wee guy, Dimitri Mitchell.
Yeah, he was very good.
I think he might have played in Man United's first team as well.
He did.
He was left winger, but see the guy Andres Pereira, oh my god, mate. See watching him, and then you're thinking you're good, and then you play against someone like that, and you're like, I'm so far off it here, it's not even funny.
Yeah, like I actually remember people talking about him. I was up at that game when I was watching, and people were saying in the stands that, who did he come from? Was it like Ajax or something? Or?
No, someone in Portugal.
Portugal, yeah. And
United, I think he was like half Portuguese, half Brazilian or something.
And they'd only signed him at like 17 for some crazy money. Yeah. I was like, oh my god.
And then he came to Milk Cup and played against us. And
destroyed everyone.
He's the best player that I've ever played against, I think. He was 100%. So good. And then moving on to
yeah, no worries, mate. Just walk around outside it. 6 quid.
So he was the best player, hands down, ever played on the football pitch with. And then playing Avon, that reserve game, playing against a load of boys from Clinville's first team, I was like, oh my god, am I ever going to be a footballer here?
Yeah.
Because we just got battered that night too. And then around that Christmas time, I went to Torquay again. They'd asked me to come back because I didn't get to play any games the first time.
Oh seriously? You just trained the full week?
I just trained the full week, and then...
You were never getting trained either, like?
Yeah, I know. That's people say I don't run and all this little shit.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
No, so obviously that training's just like, it's like a chore nearly.
Yeah.
And then, but so I went the second time and couldn't wait because I knew I was playing 2 games. It was another week. It was obviously around the Christmas break, or around when the schools are off for Christmas. And so we played a game against with the ones my own age. I think it was against Bristol City or something, or something like that, or Bristol Rovers or something.
Yeah.
And went and played them, and I think we drew 2 each or something. But see, playing against ones who were my own age, they obviously Torquay were in League 1 or 2 at the time or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so much better than all these boys.
Yeah.
So I think I was on the Tuesday or something, and then on the Friday we were going up to Southampton's training ground to play Southampton's under 19s. So that was with like.
Were Southampton in the Prem then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically playing at a Premier League ground, like.
And obviously their academies, like, obviously well known, like Bale and all players like that. So I was like, can't wait to go up here and play. So whatever way it worked out, there were so many people going up. So they took a bus up that was full, and then there was 3 of us going up in the person who ran the digs car. And his car broke down on the way up yet, so the bus just went on.
Yeah.
And didn't even get to go play the match.
Flip's sake.
But I know.
So did you not even play a match this time, the second time round again either?
No, I played against Bristol City.
Yes, sorry.
And that was my own age. I was like, this was way too easy. But the next game was going to be against Southampton's under 19s.
Yeah.
So I was buzzing for that, and didn't even get to go yet. His car broke down on the way, and then the bus was too far on to turn around and come back and get us.
Oh my word.
So there was 3 of us. The 2 of the boys were part of the team as well. Like they weren't trialists. I was the only one there who was on trial, and
Pretty bad luck, isn't it?
absolutely brutal. So Torquay, after that, they said they'd seen enough basically in that first game for they want to sign me as a scholar for the summer coming up. But I went home and thought about it and spoke to the ones at Glenavon, and they were like confident of getting the first team and stuff, which probably would have been a better platform for me.
Yeah, for sure, mate.
So I just didn't take Torquay up on it, and just stayed home and played for Glenavon for another year. And not that I regret it, like, because obviously I've loved my football career so far, but
Yeah.
getting the chance to maybe like live it away and stuff and see what it was actually like would have been fun, but there's no big thing. And then so I finished out that season at Glenavon and won the Youth Cup. I think you were playing that match too, were you?
I was,
Youth Cup final.
yeah.
And
He's beat us 1-0.
beat us, yeah. I think Conor McKendry scored the goal for us.
Yeah, that's another one. Like
Yeah,
the game that we had, or the teams that we
The teams were unbelievable.
had, yeah, like I mean, in my team, I had like Paul Smith. Like,
Shout out to Paul, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm the best
100%.
footballer in the family.
He'll be on soon.
We'll
I
get
would
him on
imagine.
now.
What did you say? You were better at football?
Oh, way better football. Aye. But that was a class match actually, and that was. I think some of the boys were moving away basically after that game too, because that was the last game of the season.
Yeah.
But those teams were amazing. There was Sexy, Shane Lavery, Conor McGandry, me, you.
Unbelievable. Like,
Marty Bradley actually it was weird. It actually because I was a captain of the Glenavon under 19 team back then, and Marty was a captain of the Linfield team at that.
That's right,
And
yeah.
it was quite nice. Like we started playing football together, and then our last like
Playing in a cup
youth
final?
game was going to be the Youth Cup final against each other. So Glenavon finished, and then I moved to Cliftonville.
So from then, like, how did you get brought to Cliftonville, or sort of who brought you there, or why did you go to Cliftonville from Glenavon? Because obviously you talked about Glenavon maybe, you know, giving you the chance and stuff. Did the chance not happen?
No,
And then-
no, that's part of the reason why. That is the main reason why I left.
Yeah.
It was made out like I was gonna. I mean, so once I was talking about moving away and stuff, they were like, "Staying here is the best shout for you." Like, you see the progression of the youth players in our first team and stuff, and I was like, "Okay, well, obviously I want that to be me if I'm not moving away." And then it never really materialised. So, once season end, I just told them that was me done, like.
Yeah.
And
So where did Cliftonville come into this? How did you end up signing there?
I don't even know, mate. Also, it was the summertime, and I wasn't even. Just that year. Also, you ended up winning the Youth Cup, but the thing with Torquay and stuff was just like it was a bit of like a dampener.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even really bothered.
How did you feel? Like, did it affect you much, or like?
That's what I was gonna say. I don't know if it did, but see, once that football season finished, I was like, I can't even be arsed with football no more.
Yeah.
Because it was just like.
And a lot of
This is
people,
crap.
that happens to a lot of people, like, doesn't it? You know.
Definitely, there's so many people, even our age groups below, who are amazing footballers, and something shit kind of happens and they just can't be arsed. But so that whole summer I just played Gaelic, and it was getting close till the end of July, and I was like, right, I remember Madai saying to me, are you going to sign for anybody, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, I actually don't even really know, because I was just finishing school and then going to uni and all. And it's like,
Life was getting a bit tougher, I suppose.
And I was like, well, if I'm going to sign for anybody, I'd probably just sign for Cliftonville, because
Local
they're a
team.
team I follow.
Yeah.
So I remember Michael Presser was the manager, and I'd got his number off someone and just phoned him, and he said, I'm on over, and went to training and just signed that night.
Happy days. And it proved to be a good move. So obviously you were there at Cliftonville then, and then sort of you kind of jumped into the first team, didn't you?
Aye, so I played that first year when I joined as in the reserve team, and won a couple of things that year too. We won the reserve league and won the Stevensons. I think we actually might have beat you in that final.
Yeah, it wasn't
Was
as
it Linfield?
you beat us in one.
Oh, was it
one
George?
other
Oh, it
final.
wasn't Stevensons. Sorry, the George
Wilson,
Aye,
yeah.
that's right. But, so me and you were meeting in finals quite regularly, and
I
you
know.
were losing.
I don't know actually how that happened, like, but
There was 4 finals, and I beat you in 4. But I mate, I loved
cut it there.
I loved it at Cliftonville. It was so handy. It was only across the road. I loved Clinville. I supported them and stuff. And then it took a bit of pressure off Moy because I hadn't had I started driving it when I was at Glenavon. Moy was driving me up and down. It's like 3 times a week. The Lurgan, I know. So she was delighted once I said I was going to sign for Clinville.
I think that's probably another thing we will only probably appreciate now, where like our mums and dads were travelling us all around the country.
Mate, I know.
The football games, like.
You think it was? You used to think it was just normal, like. What else would they be doing?
Yeah.
But
and now you have to pay for petrol yourself. You're like, what's?
I know. Car insurance and all, it's terrible. But you really don't appreciate it until you get a wee bit older. I think how much they actually did. Like every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I'm always riding all around the country in a wee bucket just to bring me to football.
Yeah.
So shout out to Moy for that. And but same for Clinville, and loved it, mate. And after the first year, I was playing Gaelic again the following summer, and Darty O'Hara, I remember, phoned me and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was nothing. I'm just getting ready to go training here. And he says, "Skin needs you at Clinville training," but they were preparing for Europe. They'd get into Europe that year, so they were back earlier. And I was like, right, sweet, and then absolutely buzzing. And by this time, Levi was already home from. Levi'd moved home from Torquay, Torquay, or he'd actually signed Bristol City and then come home and signed for Clinville, so it was sweet to have someone I know here who's in the first team already, so it'll make it a bit easier. And just went and then was in the first team basically straight away, playing in their games, preparing for Europe. I didn't get to go to Europe, like, which I was a wee bit disappointed about, but
yeah.
It was.
But obviously, you weren't even expecting to actually be there at all.
So the season started and I was in maybe not the first game of the season, but I think the second game of the season I was in the squad, and then.
That's class. Like, how did you feel about, as we said, like how good you have to be to play in the Irish League? How did you feel about actually being in the squad and being involved in a proper Irish League fixture?
Once I by that stage, and then after a couple of training sessions with him, you just feel like you were part of it already, and it was such a good group. Everybody was so funny, and the crack was class. And
did any of the, obviously you were just sort of coming through, like, did any of the lads in the sort of Clinville first team kind of, help you through that, being the young one coming up, or was it just, as you say, quite natural, where everyone just kind of took you on board?
Everyone was really sound, but who was there? Chris Ramsey was there, actually, who I ended up Ballyclare with and was one of my good mates now.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why, because he kind of looked after me at the very start, and then I don't know, it was just you didn't feel like someone had to, because everybody was just good crack, and everybody just got along with you. So
none of the centre midfielders thought this kid's coming in to take my position, try to empty or anything, no?
They probably thought he's crap anyway, he's not going to. But a couple of weeks then I made my debut. I think it was, who was it against? Away to Portadown. I came off the bench for like the last 20 minutes.
I remember that as well.
And I was like, this is it. Like, but I just couldn't wait for it to come and come on and just run about like a headless chicken. And people are probably shocked with me even saying that, because there's this perception that I don't run, but I must have ran about 10k, 20 minutes. I was running, then.
You're like me, mate, quick in the head now.
Quick feet and quick brain, mate. That's all you need. And I flew into a tackle. Adrenaline was obviously just through the roof because I was so excited, and flew into a tackle and busted my boot. Like,
did you?
The whole plate at the bottom was hanging off.
Were you booked?
No, it was just a clean 50-50, but
okay.
Played the last 10 minutes with no boot, basically. And so that was my debut, and then I had another couple of appearances off the bench just, and then played, what was first
Bangor,
game,
wasn't it?
First game I started, I was Bangor, and we played Lisburn Distillery the week before in the County Antrim Shield, I think, and beat them 11-0 or something. It was like a club record victory. And I come off a bench then and scored.
Yeah. So that was your first goal then against Lisburn Distillery in the County Antrim Shield?
That was my first senior goal, basically. And then the week after, it was a League Cup game, or a week or maybe 2 weeks after. A League Cup game against Bangor, and we won 7-0 and I scored a hat-trick. I was, mate, see the buzz I had that night. I
Yeah.
felt like I was on top of the world.
See, before I was really buzzing for you myself when I seen Gary Donnelly had scored a hat trick. It was
Mate,
class to see.
I felt like I was a celebrity
Yeah,
because I scored a hat trick for Clinville, and I was like, is this what it's like if you're doing
doing well.
aye? So scored a hat trick on my debut, obviously, and obviously I was buzzing because I went to all the Clinville games when I was a kid.
Yeah,
So after that, started in the next 2 rounds of the cup and still made some more appearances off the bench. But Clinville were doing okay and had made some good signings like Harkin and stuff from Rory Harkin from Korean, I think. He was amazing, mate. He was like the best midfielder in the league.
yeah. And that's what you're competing against then. Like.
Jude Winchester was there, and obviously Katz was still there. There were some class players. The midfield was just amazing. So
Sort of limited your opportunities a bit.
big time. So I spoke to Skinnerman. I went on loan to Larne for 1 game, mate. So I got the Larne on the. It was funny. I was at Clinville training on the Tuesday, I think it was, and like basically sorted that I was going on loan to Larne. So I went to Larne training on the Thursday and played. I remember playing away to Operator on the Saturday, drew 2 each, I think, and was back at Clinville training on the Tuesday after, or the Thursday after, because Ryan Capney got a bad injury against Crusaders on the Saturday.
That's right. I actually remember that tackle. That was a horrendous challenge. Actually,
It was just a completely, I don't know, it was shot. I don't even know how bad the tackle was, but just his injury after that was brutal, mate.
Yeah. And I remember you signing for Larne too, because I literally come in straight after you.
I know.
We could have been playing together again.
That Larne team would have been good cracked. It was
would've.
Andy Mooney was there. I'm near sure Big McGrandles was there.
Yep, wasn't
I
it?
think our mate Jerry might have been there at that time.
Matty Henry.
Matty Henry. So that would have been good crack, but had to go back to Clinville literally the next midweek for training, and so trained that week, and then there was a game that weekend, wasn't involved, and then there was a friendly against Sligo, and I'd started in the friendly, but you know the way we played them was on the Tuesday night, and the team was like, it's like the way you're in training and the manager doesn't be like, don't read too much into the team, but it's a whole starting
It's the exact team, yeah, 100%. That's a manager's foot.
But they may throw in one mad one with like a defender standing up front or something.
Yeah.
Don't read too much in this, as this isn't going to be a team.
But it's the exact team.
So after that game for Larne, back to Clinville training, and as I was saying there, the thing about the two, like there was 2 starting 11s for the friendly, and they were like, don't look too much into this.
And you were actually in the
I was
team
in the team that
then?
started the game. And you're looking at it and you're thinking this team's definitely, only I'm in it, but this team's definitely stronger.
Yeah.
So Saturday came, we were away to Ballymallard and I was starting.
Class. I'm sure you had like proper
Holding
butterflies.
my teammate, like, he told me on the bus that I was starting on the way down, so I had about 3 hours to think about and shape myself the whole way down.
I'm sure.
Not even, probably wasn't shape myself, but it was probably excitement.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I get very nervous, so it must have been more excitement than nerves, but away to Ballymallard, and this is like January. Their pitch is usually quite decent, but the pitch was all mucky and crap, and we ended up beat 2-1. So I was like, of course, my first game.
Your first game beat 2-1.
Beat 2-1. Like, what happens next? So stayed in around the first team, made a couple more appearances for the rest of the season, and then Skin and Mal left. Skin went to be Sligo manager, I think.
Yeah.
And Barry Gray came in, and for next year, still part of the first team, but never really featured in any of the games. So once that season finished, Lauren actually wanted me back on loan that season again, and but I didn't go because I thought that I just really wanted to play for Clinville at this point.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because you've got a bit of a sniff there for the first team.
What it was like, so I thought that if I was able to do it last season, I can get back in this season, but it never worked out, and then I ended up signing for Ballyclare that summer.
Class. Like this is where I want to talk about, because obviously I was at Ballyclare and stuff as well when you were there too. So, yeah, obviously we were in Ballyclare, and how did you find it?
Mate, I loved it at the start. So I'd signed in the summer, James E. Kirk, the chairman now, signed me. He was the manager, and I loved it because I was not that I was getting in. Like I've had experience now playing senior football and whatever, and already had enough like confidence in my ability. So I was going basically thinking, I'm going to be the best player here. And for the first couple of weeks, it honestly wasn't like that because the championship's mad.
Yeah, the step up even from reserve football and stuff.
And you need to be on it, or else you will get found out. Like because it's just no nonsense and people take no shit really. So first game was away at PSNI, done rightly. I actually played really well. We won 4-0 or something, but for about the next 3 months or something, I was not that I was playing crap, but like I wasn't playing as well as what I thought that I could have.
Yeah.
And then January came and we played. I was left out for like 4 or 5, 6 games or something, and then first round of the Irish Cup came against Linfield at Windsor, and I was just put back in and had probably the best
you
game.
were like, I cheers.
Aye, thanks. Pitches, I'm getting criticised for not running here and it put me on the biggest pitch in the whole country. But done really well that day, and then since then it was just like an upward curve for me.
For sure, like for me anyway, like I thought, when you came to Ballyclare, that was probably the proper start, of your career, like.
It was, because obviously before that there was arching about and am I in the team, am I not, and then at that point it was like I'm playing every week and I'm going to show everybody how good I am basically.
100%.
So that first season finished and new managers come in who I think they were the ones who signed you.
Yeah,
Paul
that's right, yep.
And
Harbo
and Craig and stuff.
And Craig, yep.
So once they come in, they made me feel like I was the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Like
they were good at that, like.
They were so much confidence in you, and I was loving it then. I think they made me, after a couple of months, vice captain and stuff, and I was just playing and loving it. I didn't know if, like, what I wanted then. I just knew that I was loving playing football.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really, that I want to go back and play in the Irish League, and obviously the team was good crack. You were there, or that first year, obviously Joe Tolley and Kirky Kramer, who I knew all my life basically, and then you'd signed, who I knew really well, and then the team was just like...
We had a good side.
Very good side, mate. I was just like basically playing with my mates again, but only like at a real competitive level. So I was loving it, and Harbo and Gareth ended up moving on.
Can I just say, actually, I remember one night we were playing a match against Loughgall.
Oh my God, man,
and do you remember my cousin was playing for the opposite team? And
this was the worst night ever.
We were 3-0 up in like half an hour.
I think we were 4-0 up.
Yeah, we were like 3-0 up in half an hour, and then like 4-0 up then come half time.
Joe Tolley scored a hat-trick in the first half.
That was unbelievable. And I had actually scored. I know. My cousin,
sure.
As I say, cousin was playing.
A win was nailed on and he'd scored.
So cousin was flipping on the other team, and like half time came, we were 4-0 up, and I walked over to him as we're walking into the tunnel, and I've had a wee tap on my shoulder. Thanks for coming, mate. And then we went out in the second half, 4-0 up. It could be 5-4, I get hooked off.
Mate, that's one of the maddest results in football history. And you could feel it coming too. See once I scored the first goal.
It was like an avalanche, wasn't it?
It was coming, you could have put 40 of us on the pitch to try and stop them scoring, and I still think they would have.
Yeah, 100%. It just wasn't for happening.
Mate, that was terrible.
But yeah, then obviously Harbo and G and stuff ended up obviously going.
Yep. And then
what happened from there, man?
So
you're obviously still at Ballyclare, enjoying it, playing well.
I'm still at Ballyclare, but just before, so in the January, before they left in the summer, I think, or not even the summer, they left in about March or April time, but I'd signed for Ards, just for, by this point it was, I don't know, it was kind of boring me a bit. It was, I don't know how to describe it, we were just
wasn't kind of going anywhere.
No one, it was like, not that no one cared, because obviously there was loads of good people about the club, but it was just like, nothing was happening.
Yeah.
And then me and Joe left and signed for Ards, and then Harbo and Gareth and Craig left, and then that summer came, and Smalley and Ramsey went in as the Ballyclare coaches.
And obviously
And-
Smalley was your friend then too as well.
I knew
Or
Smalley,
Ramsey?
Smalley coached me at Clintonville. Smalley was
Okay.
part of the first team coaching staff, and he was a uni football manager. Not that I ever played football for uni. He says he tortured me and I told him to do one, but that's not true. And so they would come in as Ballyclare managers. Obviously Ramsey was my mate,
Yeah.
so I was like, "Ah, sweet, I'll just come back. I'll come back to you." And for the next 2 years, I absolutely loved it. Like,
See, like I remember, you know, when you were those sort of, you know, past 2 years, you know, you were pretty much getting tipped as like best player in the championship or one of the best players in the championship anyway.
I mean, I felt like it too, to be fair. Also, we were playing. I was playing for a team who was mid-table, and like in the last 2 years, I'd scored 25 goals or something, and whatever many goal contributions. I
Yeah,
don't know,
you were really flipping, you know, contributing on
But-
all aspects, like scoring goals, assisting.
but I was really loving it. I was made captain. I got the lead the team out in 2 Irish Cup quarter-finals, home to Ballymena and won away to Glentoran at the Oval,
Class.
which was a class day. So I loved it. I loved the way. I loved where it looked like the club was going.
Yep.
Obviously, there's loads of good people about, good coaching staff, really talented team, and I was like, this is perfect. And then, I don't know, the summer game, and
I know, because I sort of remember this coming about. There was a lot of rumours that you were kind of, you know, you were maybe going, and Ballyclare were kind of losing a lot of players at that time, and for you to go, it was kind of, it obviously wasn't good. As I say, you were probably one of the best players, if not the best player in the championship at that time.
Yep.
So like, you know, what sort of happened there? I know there was like a bit of an uproar from fans and different things, and a lot of rumours going about and a lot said. So yeah, what happened?
obviously we'd lost. Well, in that January, we'd lost Calvin McCurry, who's unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah.
And well, he was unbelievable for us. We lost him, and then that was a loss because we were doing rightly. And then the season sort of petered out, not on a personal level, because I ended up winning Player of the Year again. But
Again.
aye, the third one or something. And the season just petered out, and then I'd a couple of clubs that contacted me, which obviously Ballyclare knew about, and they knew I'd spoke to them. A couple of clubs in the championship just, and I turned them all down because of basically, like, obviously Ballyclare just got the new pitch, and
Yeah, it was going places.
it looked like it was. So that was basically as soon as the season finished, they were in like May time. And then I was like, nah, I just said no to everybody, and re-signed to Ballyclare, and pre-season went on, and the pre-season was going on, and I'd had like conversations with like some people, and I just came to play the first 2 games of the season for Ballyclare, and then just came to the conclusion that it's probably better for me to move. I
Yeah.
think the thing was, is, as you says, like from the outside, it looked like I was one of, like you said, one of the best players in the championship, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was appreciated or something.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't getting like
The recognition that you should have
the credit for
deserved.
it.
Yeah.
Aye.
100%.
So I was just like, I've basically not had enough of this, but I want to go somewhere that's going to challenge me. Not that I was getting comfortable with Ballyclare, but like if I felt like that I wasn't being, like what I was doing wasn't being recognised, then I may as well go somewhere else and try it somewhere else. So that's
Fair
what I
enough.
ended up doing.
And then obviously Ramsey and Smalley, you know, you say they're like they were kind of your mates and stuff. And how did they take it, or what was
They took it so bad, mate.
it? Yeah.
I phoned Smalley and told him I was leaving, and obviously you're going to be raising it, your captain's leaving, and then told Ramsey after I told Smalley, and he was more raising, to be fair. I think obviously him being my mate and stuff, he
Bit more personal,
a
isn't
bit
it?
more personal, because he's like, well, I'm your coach and you're just, as if it was like his fault that I was leaving nearly. So,
Yeah.
but it was nothing to do with them two. If them two were probably the best coaching staff I've had in senior football. So
And then, so obviously, then from there, then you know, or well, with that at Ballyclare, you know, like, did you see like some of the comments and stuff that people were saying and stuff? Like,
Mate, that was brutal, wasn't it?
how were you with that?
I think that I was playing it off more than it was definitely bothering me. I think I played like 160 games for them or something.
I was gonna say, like, you definitely give it
scored
your all.
like 40 odd goals or something. So I gave everything that I could for them, and I just didn't see it being. They weren't. I wasn't getting wasn't getting what I wanted, but as I said, it's like I was getting everything to Emmons, and I don't feel like it was being reciprocated towards me.
Yeah,
so.
Especially as club captain as well.
So then there was obviously, as club captain, I know, and then there was messages on, not messages, there was stuff going about, like the biggest load of nonsense I was telling you about the last time I was in and get my hair cut. Me saying like the team and all were basically saying they were shite, and then
Yeah.
all the comments on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram though, I was like, what the frick?
It's not the case.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't said anything or done anything, so that kind of did piss me off a wee bit. And like, it was so funny because my mum took it the worst, I think. Her like
Serious? Yeah.
my mum was raising about it, so just kind of just like stayed on there. Didn't bite anything or reply to anything, and just let it go until people get over it, from which obviously they have now.
Yeah.
But that's probably because I'm injured, can't play.
So that's what we'll move on to here in 1 second. Okay, so yeah, mate, obviously you had you know, your time at Ballyclare, then you're now at Ards. You obviously signed for them again. So what's been the crack since you've been at Ards?
The crack has been absolutely shit. I played, so I signed, and then come on sub away to Ballinamallard, drew 2 each, and then played on Tuesday night against Bangor and got injured. I had 2 tears in my meniscus and had to get surgery in December, so I haven't played football since August, and it's been breaking my heart.
That's been tight, like, to be fair.
Yeah, it's been. I've never went through like a period of being injured for any longer than maybe like 3 or 4 weeks max, and now I've been injured 4 or 5 months, and oh my god, it's so bad. I feel like it's sheer motivation to do anything. See, until I know I can play football, I don't even want to. Not that I don't want to, because I have been, but see, going to the gym and all for like knowing you're so far still off being able to play, it's hard work. Like, I wouldn't wish being injured on anybody, to be honest.
And what about sort of going forward now? Just try and get yourself back and
try and get fit. In the 8 weeks since the operation yesterday, and it's getting a lot stronger. Like, but I'm not ready to play. I'm not ready to play football yet, or not even ready to run really yet. I can jog a wee bit now, but not even close to being able to run. I'm hoping that in February I start to run, and then by the time March comes, I'm able to play football and hopefully get something out of the season at least.
get back to being the best player in the championship again.
Yeah, well, listen, that'll probably have to wait until next season, but hopefully Ards can finish the season off strong and then go into next year, because there's a really good squad there, to be fair, and go into the next season high in confidence. We're in the last 16 in the Irish Cup against Moyolda on, I think that's this Saturday, and then if we get through that, there'll be another Irish Cup quarter final, which I'm basically hoping to try and get fit around the date of it. So if I was able to get back for that, that would be amazing.
I'm sure, mate. Ours are looking good at the minute, so happy days. I'm sure you're bossing to get back, mate.
Yeah, can't wait. It's been hard.
Just to obviously kind of, we're finishing up here now, but just to kind of end things, mate. Thanks very much, first of all, for coming on.
No problem, of course.
You've obviously got a lovely wee trim out of it.
Is it? Well, I haven't seen the back. I'll take your word.
I've done a wee design, mate. They'll put me all initials on the back.
You go faster lanes.
Yeah, they're going to put you on the spot though. So obviously, you know, you've went through your whole career. You've been over in England. You know, you're playing now at a high level. What advice would you give to a young lad who's playing football right now?
Oh, cheapers.
I think it's a good time for people who are playing football right now.
Big time. I'd probably say everybody goes with the cliche, work hard, all this shit, but obviously you're going to be working hard if you want to be a footballer, but I feel like the best thing is probably not to take no for an answer off anybody. I feel like when I was younger, I was probably too quick to just go along with what someone told me who in reality don't really like care.
Yeah.
Not they don't care, but
Their sort
it's
of best
not really
interest,
important to them what happens to me. So I'd probably just say don't take no for an answer and just keep your head focused on what it is that you want in football and life, basically.
Absolutely legend, mate.
Sound
Thank you very much.
absolutely no problem at all.
Let's just show you the back, mate.
Show me the back.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Alright. Oh, beautiful.
Aren't you gorgeous again?
Absolutely beautiful. I really needed that.